Hey everybody, it's time for Shane's Movie Corner.
It's me, Shane.
So what we're doing is we're talking about The Dark Knight. I had an opportunity to watch it last night with my friend Dua, and I guess you could say I watched it with my wife. But Shane,
Parts of it.
not even. But Shane, so you went to go watch it this morning.
Yes.
No, this afternoon. Did you go like a lonely man with no friends?
No, it's gonna sound awful, but I went with my mother. But it's because we're both really into films. I mean, she's kind of got me into films when I was young.
No, that's
And
great. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a family thing that, tradition. I haven't really been able to do that with her, for a while. So it's just nice to get out and
Okay.
spend some good time with my family.
Well, I mean, did you would you mind doing a spoiler cast? We'll just label this as spoilerific.
Yeah, because I don't like talking about movies when you can't talk about
And
spoilers.
we hold back. Yeah. If we hold back, okay. So we're gonna lay the groundwork right here, where if we're gonna talk about a movie, we're gonna talk about it in its entirety, and where we don't want to hold back on anything, because I'm sure a lot of other people do want to hear what our impressions are, not what our suppressed impressions are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so give me your rundown. Wait. Well, first of all, is there any story or anecdote to go along with you went to go watch The Dark Knight Rises, or?
Nothing that tops yours. I mean, I just went. I got back. I got out of it a couple hours ago. I went and saw the 10 a.m. showing to avoid having to pay an obscene amount of money.
Okay. How much did you pay? How much per ticket?
I only paid $6 for my ticket.
Very good. Yeah, that's about similar prices to where I'm at. But last night I actually went at the latest showing. It was sold out in 3 theaters that we went by or we checked up on, and so the last theater that we went to go look for it was the one that was closest to us. And I live in a small town, so most of the people don't get out. So
Yeah.
I mean, we actually went to go watch at the latest time, and I don't know, the theater was probably at 45-50% capacity. I mean, we had plenty of room left. We had good seats.
Right, and this was the last showing of the day, right? You told me.
Yeah. So, I mean, yours went okay, or?
Yeah, it was
a lot of people there, or?
It was a good amount of people for a 10 a.m. showing. I think most of the people are pretty lazy on a Sunday morning, so either that or they're at church, because I guess we both live in the South, so we know what that's like.
Okay, so
yeah.
First impressions. What did you think when you walked out the theater? Did you have a constant rock on you that you felt, oh man, this movie was lacking this or that?
Nope. I thoroughly enjoyed the film coming out of it. I didn't have like a raging boner like I did at the end of The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Well, The Dark Knight was it was a little bit different because as far as like Batman Begins goes, that was a fine movie. It was fine the way it was. To me, it was just another superhero origin story. Right. And honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of it. I'm not saying that it's not necessary. I do think it is necessary, and sometimes, especially with Batman, because he has such a dark past, and that is what creates him as a character, right? Right.
It has such a big factor on basically his entire arc going forward.
Exactly, and he's not a. I'd love to say this because I love Batman. Batman's like one of my favorite superheroes, and it's because he's not a black and white character where there's obvious good that he does, there's obvious bad. He's got a lot of gray area.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, in the movies, he's pretty much good, but.
Yeah, but I mean, he walks the line, and there's a lot of interesting kind of philosophical themes that Nolan brings up.
Certainly. So, let me see. Do you want to go about the movie in a chronological order, or?
I don't know. I guess we can try that and see where it goes. I'm sure we'll get off tangent, but
yeah, I'm very sure.
If we get off tangent, let's just flow with it.
Yeah,
we'll cover the whole thing eventually.
Okay, so the movie starts us off. It has been 8 years since Harvey Dent's death. and
No
every
one's aged
year
at all.
no one's aged at all. Everybody's aged approximately 1 or 2 years,
Yes.
and every day Gotham City celebrates Harvey Dent Day,
Yep.
and there is obviously some sort of an act that was uh, passed along in laws and stuff like that that put away thousands of criminals, crooks, whatever. I don't know if those people were tried incorrectly or something like that, but I felt like they were good. Um, I mean, I felt like there was some gray area messing with that there, and so the Harvey Dent Act was, kind of in question or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's playing on the whole idea that the second film was setting up this notion, the truth can be hidden, and holding up this kind of false idol in
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Dent, to kind of, the ends justify the means. To,
And
pacify Gotham is
yeah,
worth it.
yeah. I mean, and obvious at the very beginning of the movie, it shows Commissioner Gordon, as being kind of torn inside. Yeah, Gary Oldman, I felt, did an excellent job in this movie, showing that, especially whenever Bane read his what is it, the page that he wrote about Harvey Dent, about how he salutes and upholds the man who tried to kill his son.
Right.
And I felt like, wow, Gary Oldman is, he did a really, really good job in this movie. I liked his character. I mean, it's Commissioner Gordon. He's good.
Yeah, I'm a huge Gary Oldman fan. I think you know that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it's something where the actor brings more than I think what's on the page.
Mhm.
He could, very easily and this guy, this good guy, with
Yeah.
no nuances to his character besides, oh, I'm Commissioner Gordon, I'm the chief of police or whatever.
Yeah, but I thought Gary Oldman did a really outstanding job. And then they show Bane's character, obviously, and he does some sort of a heist. You don't know what it is. He hijacks an airplane, and then he gets somebody out of there, and you find out later he's the creator of the bomb, right?
Right.
Um, but anyways, the introductory of Bane. What did you think?
I mean, that whole opening sequence, I know a lot of people have talked about it and really enjoyed it. I mean, I liked it. The shot at the end when Bane's being pulled up, and it's that top down shot, and you see like the fuselage just plummet towards the floor, as he's
Mhm.
lifted out on the plane. That was great.
Yeah, Chris Nolan's certainly outdoing himself.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a great introduction, I think, to the character. Kind of set a tone.
Yeah, but
Um,
as much as they make Bane seem, his character is this super strong, powerful character, but the way he speaks, he seems like a mad scientist almost. Like he's
right.
extremely intelligent. He knows what he's doing. He's calculating, and I really enjoyed that. And within the first couple minutes of him saying something underneath the what is that, the face mask?
Yeah, his breathing apparatus.
Yeah, no. Whenever they had him on the plane and they were acting like they were throwing people out.
Oh yeah, with
The
his black
bag
hood
over
on.
his head or something like that,
Hoodie.
some sort of a satchel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just I mean, just the way his first couple of lines in that movie, really set the tone for him. He's so smart and he's very intelligent, but man, Tom Hardy does a great job acting with his eyes.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess he kind of has to,
Yeah,
because I
he didn't
mean,
he
no,
didn't have
his
much of a
eyes
choice.
and his physical mannerisms, like the way he carries himself with that like lumbering gait, where he's like he has so
Oh,
much self confidence,
yeah, and so much weight.
much weight, dude,
He
ripped.
he's yeah, he feels heavy.
Yeah,
Watching him on screen, he feels heavy. This guy literally looks like he weighs at least 250 pounds
I
of uh,
remember.
of
I
muscle.
think in a scene later on when he has his shirt off in the tunnel,
They
I
showed
think
his
like
gut.
some of the women were like, "Oh my God, look how big he is."
Oh, he's
That
huge.
yeah,
Um, And so they introduced Bane, and then shortly after that, obviously they show Selena Kyle. I didn't, I don't know. I didn't care much for her introduction. I thought it was okay for what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, you had kind of introduced her in a kind of clever way.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. As far as introductions, it's kind of forgettable. Although I did kind of like her, like kicking his cane out.
Kicking his
I
cane out
got I
from
got the
underneath him.
perverse pleasure out of that. But then again, I have a thing against old people. So
No,
that
but
might.
Anne Hathaway, I think I was pleasantly surprised,
Oh,
even though they
that's
didn't call her the Catwoman or anything like that. She
no.
did an excellent job of what is that? Leaping around and the poses, the little like she had very ballet-esque moves, like when she skipped
Mm-hmm.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. It reminded me very much of Catwomen of yore. I mean,
And I mean,
excellent.
yeah, you can tell that they're trying to distance themselves from like the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman or Halle
Yeah.
Berry, Halle Berry
Yes.
one. But I mean, okay, I think Anne Hathaway nailed it. I think whenever she was on screen, stole the show.
I think I wouldn't say she stole the
Or it
show.
came very close.
Yeah, it came very close. My
So,
my eyes were on Anne
and this
whenever she
isn't
was on
just,
screen.
this isn't just a comment on her looks. I mean, she looked the part, but
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
she had
She
the
looked
playfulness of the character down, the actress
the
angle,
poses, the angles.
but the vulnerability and the good person down beneath, and just being able to turn those on a dime, depending on what
Yeah,
the scene needs.
yeah.
Nailed it.
I think the only thing that I didn't care for was that she was that leaned on that character that is I don't care about anything but myself for too long. She that character was
Yeah,
out there for too long until what is it, the last 10-15 minutes of the film. She
yeah,
finally turns around. It took too long for her to turn around. I don't think it was necessary for that to have happened.
yeah. And I think it kind of feels like that because the movie is so long.
No, no, the
But
movie is long, but honestly, I felt like it was maybe a good 2 hour movie, not the 2 hours and 30 minutes or 40 minutes that it actually was.
um, I actually disagree to an extent,
Did
and
you
we're
start
probably gonna
feeling? Did you
we're
start
probably gonna
feeling the
yeah.
what is that? The fatigue of watching a long movie?
To be honest, I never once felt that the film was running long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't feel like it was running long. Like it
But
was like that's why I'm saying it felt like a 2 hour movie to me. Where like a good 2 hour movie is like the Lord of the Rings, maybe part one or part two. But I mean there are times in which it would have extended to like close to 3 hours on like the what is that, the Return of the King. That movie was long and it felt long.
yeah,
Batman, The Dark Knight Rises does not feel long.
no. If anything, I felt that it could have been longer.
It
To
could
be
have been
honest.
longer, yeah, yeah. I love the amount of content that it created and how concentrated it was. I never felt long gaps of why are we watching this? Why is this scene still going or anything like that?
Yeah.
You know,
Um, and I guess I feel that, and this is probably gonna get to the crux of my my complaints for the film, if you can call them that, because it's not perfect.
mhm.
But I felt that the film seemed like it would have worked better as two films, with the
Really?
splitting point being basically at the point where Batman is broken by Bane. Um, and kind of have that dark kind of cliffhanger ending, and then the second half being that shift towards his training, rising back up,
Yeah, yeah.
then his confrontation with Bane and
Now, I
Talia.
yeah, the only thing in which I disagree there is that I don't want to have to wait another year for the conclusion
Yeah.
to the Bane and Tali
Bane saga.
battle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
but
I loved it, but I do want them. I would have loved for them to explore more of. Well, I mean, okay. Before we get to that, we're talking about character introductions here. They introduce Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne,
right.
and he looks old.
Oh, he's got the whole kind of like Howard Hughes sudden
Yeah,
thing going on.
yeah, and I think Christian Bale does a fantastic job of this. Whether it is because he's actually getting older, if he had makeup on, his eye sockets seemed deeper. He had veins where you didn't see him before. He used to be pretty baby faced in Batman Begins.
Yeah, and I think
That's what I
that's a
recall.
testament to the makeup. I don't think he's
I would
been
hope
gone
not.
that far.
Yeah, I would hope not. I'd love to see Christian Bale do further projects, especially if there's an opportunity for him to do another Batman film. I'd
Yeah,
love to see him reprise the role. But they introduced Bruce Wayne, and he's on a cane, and he's old. His hair is long, and he's hunched over. Obviously all those years of doing Batman work has taken a toll on his body. He's got bad knees, bad elbows.
at everything.
Yeah, he even goes for a checkup, and the doctor tells him he's not fit for extreme sports anymore.
That was a good bit, and I like that.
Yeah,
But
and then the only thing is, I felt it was kind of weird uh, for Bruce Wayne, this man who has undergone so much torture to his body. Within I don't know, maybe within the movie, it felt like maybe a week of retraining, and he was up to snuff again.
yeah,
I thought that was weird. That was kind of
apparently
weird to me.
apparently getting recovering from having your vertebrae
Well, no,
snap.
not
What was
even
that?
that. No, not that part. I'm talking about just from him being
Oh, just getting back into the mix
old.
of
Yeah,
things
just getting
from the
back
first
into
half.
Batman. Yeah,
Ah.
he puts this thing on his leg, and he's like, my knee's good again. you know.
And then he kicks a wall.
Yeah, he kicks the wall. The
Yeah,
wall shot, and Michael Caine's reaction.
yeah. It's a load-bearing structure, Mister.
Are you
But,
not concerned for your back, cave? Oh
but
man.
yeah, and I felt like that's just an example, but it felt like a lot of things were rushed through. And I mean, it's not like something that's overly important that you need to dwell on, but it felt like it was always this and then this and then this and then this, and I could have used some time for it to breathe, and that's why
Yeah, I
either
mean,
having
I think what I would have rather have seen is you kind of see Batman get back into the swing of things first. It seemed like he put on the knee brace, and immediately after he went back to being Batman, and he was completely fine.
yeah,
I think it would have been nice to have seen. He goes out, he stops a couple crooks, but when he's after he's done stopping the crooks or whatever like that, he's like, "Oh man, my shoulder kind of feels achy." You see him kind of
right.
grabbing it and going
He's
back home.
winded.
Yeah, he's winded, and you see him back at home training just a little bit, getting back into the swing of things. But
Yeah,
it was from old broken Bruce Wayne to, oh, I'm Batman again, and
Batman.
yeah, and
Uh,
I felt that was slightly odd, but I can understand in one of the interest of the running time of that movie that Christopher Nolan just kind of said, okay, yeah, he's training in the back, you don't see it, but he's good again.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a big portion, but yeah, it was a little weird. I did notice
hmm
that.
Now, I don't recall Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's introduction that well. Do you? I think it must have been pretty subtle.
Yeah, he kind of shows up. He's like a beat cop, working the streets. I think it was like, doesn't he like come across the washed out body in the tunnel or something? I think
Yeah.
that's one of his early scenes.
Yeah, I think that's one of his early scenes, and he seems okay, blah blah this and that, and I I honestly didn't know how to take Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and
Really?
I mean, I like him. I love him
Are
as
we
an actor.
are we talking about from the entire film now? His character?
Yeah, like yeah, his character in the film. You
Huh.
know, once they revealed that he was gonna, I mean, once they pretty much said he's Batman's sidekick now,
Yeah.
I was fine with it. I was like, perfect.
Yeah,
But
and I loved it.
I loved it.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
I think the whole Robin thing was just like a wink, wink.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt in red and green and in yellow tights.
yeah,
You know, what I'd love is if they skip the whole Robin thing, because this is Christopher Nolan's Batman.
right.
This isn't the Batman from the comic books or the cartoon, right? And so I would love it if they just kind of skipped the whole Robin character and went into Nightwing.
Huh. Yeah,
I actually love Nightwing, and you know, I can't imagine, because and I do love what they did with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, where he wasn't in a circus. You know,
right.
his parents weren't
His parents were
acrobatics.
murdered.
Yeah.
Acrobatic. I forgot. Okay, I have to make it clear up front. I am not an astute like reader of the comics, so my knowledge
Yeah.
on Batman's basically the prior films, and I haven't seen those in a while.
Uh-huh.
So I know his parents were like in a trapeze act, and they were like
Yeah.
murdered or something. Were they? I forgot how they were murdered or who they were murdered by. Were they shot like while they were while they were on the trip or the on the thing? I
The
forgot what
flying
it's called.
trapeze. Yeah, I don't. I look. There's a million different interpretations, but all of them revolve around them being in a circus
People.
act. Yeah, they were circus people, and you know, I understand why they did it. You know, they wanted to have some sort of connection between Batman and I mean Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. But you know, it's a cheesy story.
Yeah,
It's a very
it,
cheesy
and
story.
it doesn't work for Nolan's
And yeah, and it doesn't, because you know,
Batman.
this one's much more realistic. It's much more down to earth. I know there's still a lot of crazy things in Nolan's Batman, but you know, this is a fantastic way. You know, they changed Bane's story. You know,
Yeah,
they changed everything, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm very much one of those types of people. I remember watching the first Spider-Man. I was like, organic web shooters, ew. You know, I was like, Peter Parker made his web shooters, and they're technologically, you know, advanced and stuff. You know, but
yeah.
you know, when they changed it for The Dark Knight Rises, I was completely fine with it because of how well it was executed.
Right.
You know.
There's a reason for the change, and they're just kind of they're retellings of a story, not intended to be
Mm-hmm.
word for word or whatever,
Yeah.
faithful adaptations in that kind of sense.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, I love the way they integrated, because Nolan said he didn't want to have Robin. He thought the idea was silly. It would look silly. I mean, his backstory is, it's silly in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's very silly.
he basically plays the role of Robin in the film without
Without a mask.
them having to call him Robin, without him having to dress up.
Yeah.
Serves the same function that Robin would in a Batman movie, that he is working with Batman.
Yep. But I mean, I thought it was, you know, I love the way Nolan's going with it.
You know?
Now
And
within the first act of the movie, it pretty much just
Hey, wake up.
lays the groundwork. It just pretty much lays down the groundwork
wake
for what is that? It just lays. I'm sorry, Matrix poking me real quick. I'm gonna ban him real quick. I'm just gonna kick him.
We
Sorry, but
important discussions here.
yeah. Okay, so the first act shows all of the characters, this and that, and then what is that? And then in the second act, it kind of goes into Batman getting back into the swing of things,
Right, and then whole stock exchange robbery.
the whole stock exchange, everything. It kind of reveals more of the characters, Batman's return, and then what was, to me anyway, the huge, you know, like the moment I've been waiting for was the final showdown between Batman and Bane.
Well, not the final showdown, but
Not the final showdown,
fight.
but I mean the first initial. Hey,
Oh yeah,
we're here to do something, and I loved it. I loved every moment of that scene.
that whole scene, the way the music cuts out. There's no
Yes.
music playing. There's it's just them two,
Yeah.
knockdown, drag out fight. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah. The
so
like you
effective.
said, the music cuts out. All you hear are, bones smashing into each other. Uh, men screaming, getting thrown around. I love scenes like that where it's no longer about the action. It's a strong emotional point that you're trying to get across, and the way Batman and Bane stare down each other.
Right.
I mean, it was fantastic, and how you slowly saw Batman becoming overwhelmed by this mountain of a man, Bane.
Yeah, and him using a lot of the tricks that Batman relied on.
Yes,
It's using the darkness to his advantage.
the
He was used to
darkness.
it.
Yeah, smoke bombs, smoke pellets.
And I love that because it comes from his past and it's part of his character, and
It
it
is.
just builds up this nemesis for Batman that it's basically his equal in every possible way.
Yeah, I mean physically, uh,
Physically,
and
I know in the
psychologically, mentally. I mean, these guys they come from two different worlds, but the way they fight, the way they physically take care of business is very close to the same.
yeah
As far as going one on one, and to slowly see Batman. Uh, I mean, it's not like Bane got a lucky shot in and then Batman's just stumbling around. No,
yeah
it wasn't anything like that. It was
it
you
was yeah
saw, yeah, you saw the wear and tear by the way Batman was moving. That he was, I am slowly becoming overwhelmed. This is starting to take its toll on me. This fight is going on for way too long. I have to resort to other tactics, and Bane just shrugs everything off.
yep. It's brutal,
It's extremely brutal, but
and
I
that's
love
probably my favorite scene in the film.
that. Probably was also my favorite scene, and I like how even Bane's henchmen watched, and as they watched with respect, like this is between one man and another.
Right, and it's kind of creepy because they're not like rooting him on. They're not ready
Yeah,
in case the fight goes wrong, and they're just like standing there and they're
but it was
supremely confident in their leader.
very
It's really
respectful.
unnerving.
Yeah, yeah, and that develops Bane's character as to how powerful he is. That no one is concerned that this man is going one on one with Batman, and we're gonna be quiet about it, and we're gonna watch him watch him whoop Batman's ass. I thought it was fantastic, and then they do a trope to the comic books, and Bane picks up Batman and drops him on his knee.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think the scenes following where it shows Batman in the prison and stuff like that. They go all into a lot of the backstory of how the prison is or how it works. It looks like a large cylinder.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
bunch of cells down there. There's bad people down there, and if you want to get out, you climb out. And I feel like this is a good stopping place. So let's go take a break real quick, and we'll be right back. Shane's Movie Corner.
It's me, Shane.
And we're back.
Yay!
Okay. Let me see. Where were we at?
I believe we were talking about the first Bane Batman
The
confrontation, and you were going into the prison.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so we're heading into the second act, which is pretty much the big story arc for Batman. And Batman is, well, Bruce Wayne is in the prison, and he's slowly learning about this child that's in the prison and stuff like that. How did you feel about that story arc? About how Batman overcomes injury, everything. He has to witness his city, Gotham, going up in flames and
Yeah.
under siege and everything like that.
I liked it. I think they pulled it off pretty well. I mean, they set up the no one was able to escape except for this child scenario, and
Hmm. Now,
and he thinks that
obviously,
that's
this,
Bane at this point
yeah,
in
yeah,
time.
everybody thinks it's Bane.
Yeah, so it kind of becomes kind of I guess like he has to challenge and prove
Hmm.
to himself as well as Bane that he can make it.
Uh, Shane, you're cutting out a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah, yeah, like whenever you get really quiet, it kind of cuts out.
Let me turn my thing down a bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try to talk louder.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. The thing's kind of weird. So,
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. Plugging it
but
into line in and everything.
yeah, I liked it. I mean, it felt a little bit rushed as far as like his rehab. I think we touched on that a little bit, or I
Yeah,
talked about that a
he.
little bit.
I don't know how. Wait, wait, wait. This was a period of about 3 months, though.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just.
because I
I
think the
mean,
bomb was set to go off for 5 months,
yeah.
and
They're like, it's gonna
then
decay in 5 months, and then a couple scenes later, it's like, oh, we got 12 days.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh,
very
we
much
got
so.
19 hours. It's like, what?
Yeah, and then in that aspect it was fine.
Yeah.
The evolution of Bruce Wayne into more of a Batman or whatever, and then we had Gotham City up in siege.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt pretty much led that whole the whole scenario in Gotham City, right?
Yeah.
Him, Commissioner Gordon, and Morgan Freeman's character and everything like that.
You can remember his
Lucius
character's name,
Lucius
did you?
Fox. Lucius
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean that was okay. I thought that was fine for what it was, but I didn't
yeah,
care much
I
for
liked
it.
it. I liked the visual imagery of Gotham, kind of. It's especially when the snow is all over and it's like they're a city
Yeah.
under siege, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I thought that was an intriguing premise, and um,
But I mean overall, the second act was probably the weakest.
yeah,
And then so
definitely.
let's go ahead and head into the third act here where
Uh,
let me see, we had I don't know. I honestly want to talk about the release of the cops underneath the city,
okay.
and then what is that? All of Bane's thugs. Wait, 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 wait. Before we get into that, what do you think about what is his name? Cillian Murphy being the judge.
I liked it. And this is what the film seemed to do. It seemed to throw, back in characters, like bit characters from the first two
The
films.
first two films. Liam
It had,
Neeson.
of course, it had the mascara wearing mayor from the second film. He was still there. I think he
Of
got blown
course,
up or something.
he got killed.
Uh, the big black dude from the ferry was one of the thugs.
I
Was one
don't
of
recall
Bane's
that.
henchmen, I think. I want to say.
Wow.
I was like, that's that dude, because I remember he was in like one of the Friday movies.
Mhm.
But yeah, I recognized him. Of course, you have Cillian Murphy reprising his role as the Scarecrow,
He
and it
looks
had
old.
it had one of the best lines from what I remember, where he's like, "Death
By
by exile."
exile.
That was great. And I kind of feel like that may have been written more for like the Joker. It had like Heath Ledger. I don't know. It just seems like that'd be kind of something
Absolutely, I do agree with that, but
like he'd be in charge of this kind of reverse like
yeah,
judging sentencing thing.
yeah, and
But I like that.
I was surprised to see Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, and
Don't
I
get
was
me
surprised
wrong.
by the audience reaction. A lot of people recognized him, and they started like clapping, laughing.
Oh,
Something.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I saw it
That's
with a really
interesting.
good audience. They picked up on a lot of the
Cues, the subtle cues.
yeah.
That's
Those
that's
are good.
good. The audience that I sat with were good little boys and girls that
Aww.
they nodded their heads when they saw something. That was it.
I approve of this.
I approve. Yeah. And so, okay, so past Cillian Murphy, but there was a
Yeah.
lot of reprisals, which gives it good consistency because
Yeah.
you know how like most movies and sequels they have a change of actor in the roles or whatnot like that. I think this
Yeah.
led to. I mean, I still think it was. I still kind of miss Katie Holmes as Rachel Dawes.
Oh
And
yeah, totally right.
yeah, I think that's the only inconsistency that they have so far.
Hmm.
You
But it's
know,
like they completely wrote her out because.
I,
I mean,
I
I
don't
think
know.
at some
Yeah,
point, Bruce Wayne looks at a picture of
Ma-
what's her
uh,
name, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie. Yeah,
I was like,
uh,
yes, he was
yeah,
10 times better.
yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah.
though, yeah, she didn't bring much. I mean, she wasn't,
She wasn't that
a major
impactful. Yeah,
character.
yeah, she
But
wasn't. But Liam Neeson's return.
yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up and I forgot. What did you think of the whole, cameo by Liam Neeson as I guess, a hallucination of sorts?
I don't know if it was a hallucination or like a deep subliminal embedding of his character into Bruce Wayne. I honestly don't
Yeah,
know, but
it certainly wasn't something physical.
yeah, it wasn't.
And
Yeah,
I don't think it
and
was him like trying to say, "Oh, he's immortal and this is part of his
no,
power." I
no.
think he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
But
But no, I thought that was a weak point.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't care much for because it seemed kind of tacked on.
yeah, it did, and he was really only there to convey information that ended up being false.
Yeah,
Because
pretty much.
didn't he basically say that that was Bane or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He pretty
And I was
much
like,
did.
oh, yeah. I mean, there could have been other ways.
I think
Um,
if they would have had Liam Neeson's character more as voices and then slowly it revealed that it was Ra's al Ghul,
right,
I think that would have been more effective and more
right.
powerful. But I mean, he was in the movie, what, 15 seconds?
Yeah, it's just a short little thing.
Yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah,
think that consistency was good for it. I
yeah.
mean, but as far as his little scene, it wasn't impactful and it
Yeah, they
didn't
could
lend
have
much
built
to
it
the
up
final
better and
product.
made it a little bit more subtle than
Yeah.
like wink, wink.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's
certainly.
Liam
Yeah.
Neeson.
Yeah. You remember this guy? His daughter
Yep,
got taken.
yep. No, his yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Spoilers.
but he looked the same.
Yeah, he did.
If memory serves me right, he looks exactly the same. Liam
That's the
Neeson's, I guess he's going to be one of those ageless characters.
that's the power of CGI.
All right.
But
And
yeah,
well, let's go ahead and head into the third act of this
third
movie.
act. And
Um,
I mean, I've talked to other people, and I think they've consistently said that third act is where it's at
yeah, yeah,
for
I think
them.
so. Yeah. I mean, I still love the first Bane and Batman confrontation.
Hmm.
I think the first act to me was really, really powerful. So
Yeah, I've heard mixed reactions about it, especially because I think what puts people off some is that it's a Batman movie and you don't actually see Batman until like an hour and a half into the film,
yeah,
or something.
that
Well,
was
like an hour
weird.
and a half.
No, I think it was like 45 minutes.
I can't remember. It takes them a while.
It takes them a while. They even introduced Bruce Wayne late
Yeah,
into the movie.
but I like that. I like the approach. I mean, obviously you had to feel Batman's absence the way Gotham felt it,
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
and to see Bruce Wayne's like broken, kind of broken
Warren.
off self both emotionally and
Yeah.
physically, and then him working his way back, and it kind of made that return that much, more.
No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. That is very true. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I would say that's about accurate too. But with the third act, you saw all the police officers going up against all the crooks of Bane's army,
Yeah,
and I thought it was kind of weird that these two sides with fully armed to the teeth.
gotta throw down.
Just I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some shots fired,
Yeah,
but it was more like they wanted to fight each other.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how well armed the police officers were.
No, they were, because you remember they brought
I,
down SWAT teams and everything to go get the army of
yeah,
Bane.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you
But
would
I mean,
imagine
Bane's
they'd have.
army was definitely, they got like, they were packing assault rifles and they
Oh
had
yeah,
tanks, and I
that's
was like, what, really?
yeah. But
But I mean, it made for a good visual image, and I guess I can buy that. In the heat of the moment, they did fire some shots, and then they're just like, fuck it, let's just bum rush these guys.
let's just hit each other with the butts of these rifles instead of actually shooting each other.
Yeah,
I think for the sake of a PG-13 film, they had to do that also.
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, but then you finally had the final showdown between Bane and Batman
Hmm.
in this scene, and which I thought was very well choreographed.
Yeah,
Just as much so as the first conflict. I mean, fight between these two characters,
yeah,
and I like it because it's not like really like like Chinese martial arts films where they're beautifully choreographed and everything just
yeah,
seems to flow
yeah.
so well. No, this was dirty down. You saw how Batman has changed.
Yeah, it's a good old Southern beating.
Yeah. I mean, this was a barroom brawl,
Yeah,
but I
that's.
I think they did an excellent job.
Hmm.
I was very happy to see Batman overcome Bane, and then this was the surprise. I
Yeah,
was very surprised. Sadly, you weren't.
I wasn't surprised. I actually read a few rumors about it, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
No,
Um,
what you did was you looked up some sort of wiki article for
well,
somebody.
this was when I confirmed it, but
You
I
knew
read
before. Oh, before, yeah.
yeah, I heard some rumors. I didn't know it was true or not. I try not to read too much going into a film, but I was like, yeah, that does kind of make sense. And I guess we're both talking about the reveal that Marion Cotillard's character was
Talia al Ghul.
Ali Al Ghul, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that makes sense. They wouldn't get an actress this big
A
to
minor role.
play
Yeah.
and to play the love interest that doesn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, when you obviously already have Selena Kyle there, Anne Hathaway's character
Yeah.
being the love interest of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Hmm.
But I mean, I was extremely pleasantly surprised because I tried to not be informed at all about this movie, and when they did reveal that it was her and she was behind everything, it made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Like one of those scenes in which, um, what is that? You remember the scene in the jail? It was a flashback in the jail where it showed the child being lifted up and they were climbing, and
Hmm.
there was a protector of this child that was getting his ass beat.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, man, that
Who's that
fights like
guy?
Bane. He fights just like Bane. And then later they actually showed Tom Hardy's face.
I was like, yeah, there's that good looking
Yeah, I was like,
motherfucker.
"There's Tom Hardy."
Yeah.
I'm still kind of concerned because Bane did such a good job, and Tom Hardy did such a good job, and I feel like he won't get recognition because his
Because
face
of the
wasn't.
mask.
Yeah, because of the mask.
And it's kind of twofold too. I mean, it's kind of hard to live up to Heath Ledger's Joker. It's certainly a different style of villain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different animal entirely from Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think Tom Hardy did a phenomenal
Fantastic.
job.
Yeah. I mean, no, we'll get to it on our closing
Yeah.
thoughts on this, but and then you had the bomb going around. The bomb's gonna blow up the city, and they did a really half-assed fly the bomb out of the city,
Yeah.
and Batman flew. He was in the cockpit of the car, of the
Hmm.
plane,
The plane, yeah.
and he flew the bomb out over the ocean, apparently 6 miles out.
Yeah, it was like a little blip. I was like, oh,
Yeah, and
he
really
had plenty of
bad.
time to jump out.
Yeah, and so the bomb blows up. Gotham is saved. Batman is presumed dead.
Yeah.
I don't know how Bruce Wayne died.
What?
Yeah. How did Bruce Wayne die?
At a ripe old age.
What was that the official story?
Um, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. See, now unless the world knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne,
Oh, you're saying? Oh, you mean in the public? I
in the
was
public
very
eye.
confused about what
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
saying.
yeah. Because
Uh,
you
yeah,
remember there was a tombstone and
yeah.
Michael Caine's fantastic performance of crying in front of the
Hey,
graves.
I wanna hand it to Michael Caine. I'm gonna say he had his role basically was to, I don't know, be the heart, I guess, of the story.
Yeah, he had
He was supposed
a
to sell those like two or three key emotional scenes.
yes, he had yeah, he had three.
Yeah.
He had three very powerful monologues and very emotional scenes, like you said.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, I think Michael Caine did a fantastic job. But
Yeah.
man, it was just awkward for him to be there on his own with what is that? Gordon walking away and everybody just kind of leaving him, and
Yeah.
I just thought the scene was set up bad. Like
Oh,
if they wouldn't have shown the other characters and they would have just showed Michael Caine in front of there
yeah.
talking to the Wayne mother and father.
Well, speaking of just leaving him, how did you feel about the whole parting of Alfred and Bruce Wayne? Well, I
Oh,
guess two-thirds of the way through, and I was kind of expecting him to come back,
I
in the hour of
was.
need as some kind of,
Yeah,
why do we
yeah.
fall, Master Wayne?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he
But
just, he's like, he shows up at the end after
he
everything's done.
disappears
He's like,
throughout the
oops.
whole second and third act of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, but that does show like how much Bruce Wayne did depend on him. Like he was answering his own door and
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
like the little comedic bits of that. I'm glad they put that in there because I was like, that's a good opportunity.
Yeah, that is a very good opportunity. Lucius
Yeah,
Fox comes to visit Bruce Wayne, and he had to open his own front door. They
yeah,
made a little crack at it. But no, I thought that was really great. I mean, I'm not saying anything about Michael Caine, but there was a lot going on in the second and third acts that, you know, I think if Michael Caine's character was there and he was still present working for Mr. Wayne, he would have been suspicious if Bruce Wayne was gone for about 5 months, right? He probably would have been
yeah,
going to look for him or something. But I think that also gives you that sense of Bruce Wayne is truly alone.
yeah. It kind of upped the stakes a
Yeah.
little bit, and this is kind of how I feel The Dark Knight Rises is different from its immediate predecessor, in the sense that in The Dark Knight it felt like a chess match between the Joker and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But in this film, it never really felt like that. It felt like Batman just being constantly overwhelmed by all
Yes.
these forces, and I kind of
Yeah.
like that. It was a different kind of struggle.
Yeah, yeah. I do like that. Where the hero has to fight something that seems completely overwhelming and impossible.
Hmm.
You know,
And
which and he actually overcomes it. I mean, I love that.
and I mean, it's not just Bane. It's the whole like the subplots about like the hostile takeover of
Hmm.
Wayne Enterprises, him losing his money, and
Yes.
then losing Alfred. Like all these things kind of coming up and coming up and coming up and pushing him further and further. And so he
Hmm.
is, basically alone and stuck in prison, complete physical wreck, and he just has to pull himself up.
Yeah, and he wasn't just uh broken as Batman. He was also broken as Bruce Wayne. So both his personalities at the same time. He just had nothing, and yeah, I think that attacked his character on all sides at the
Hmm.
same time, and no, it was really great to see him have to fight through that struggle. And so, I guess we would come to, let me see, the end of the third act
Big
where
ass
everything's
ending.
everything's getting wrapped up.
Yeah. How did you how did you feel about the way Bane went out?
Let me see. He got shot
Yeah.
by what's his name?
Nope.
Um.
Got shot by Catwoman
Yeah, that is right.
on
That is right.
on the
And
Batpod.
she, yeah. She finally revealed her character as I got a little good in me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she finally revealed herself as Han Solo, coming back to at the end of
Coming
A
back
New
to save the
Hope.
day. Yeah. Which, I mean, I felt like that was fine. I hated to see Bane go out just because he is such a dynamic villain.
Yeah.
You know, and it was kind of a cheap way for him to go out. If anything, I would have preferred Batman versus Bane fight to the death sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, even though Batman would probably never take it that far.
Yeah, in a way, Catwoman was able to do
Yeah.
what Batman, couldn't,
Yeah, or
like,
wouldn't.
from a moral standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was sad to see Bane go out. I would love to see him in future entries in the Batman series, if there are any.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Nope.
But
I don't think I would want one.
I don't know. I would love to see because Okay, well
We'll save that till the end.
Yeah. So after everything's taken care of, Gotham's fine again. They reveal a couple more secrets, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Robin, and he quit the police force, and he became he presumably becomes Batman's sidekick, and Michael Caine is in Italy or France, and he sees Bruce Wayne with Selena Kyle. Right?
Yeah, and it was kind of reminiscent of the ending from Inception. Yes, because it's I guess it's a callback to like a visual motif of, in Inception it was DiCaprio looking at his kids and then turning around, and this one it's Alfred and then it's looking at the two people and they turn around.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this a dream or something?
Yeah. But I mean, so everybody's happy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's your final verdict on this movie?
I genuinely enjoyed it. I try not to hype it up too much.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good conclusion to the series. I mean, I still have some problems with it, and I think some of the same problems I had with the second one in terms of the structure and the setting up of a lot of the things felt rushed to me. I think there's some like kind of weird like logic loopholes, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. They're like little details that I was like, that's kind of weird. But
yeah.
I mean, overall, it felt like a genuinely moving experience, which is something that you don't really get in the theater enough nowadays.
Yeah. I think for me, I was very satisfied. I walked out of that theater pumped. I was very excited. Thank God the friend that I went with was just as excited as I was, and we couldn't stop talking about the movie.
That's always fun.
Yeah, that is always great. And then what is that? Everything was fine with me. Everything. I think I only have two gripes, and they're very minor ones. One's gonna be an obvious, is the bad one-liners.
I know you kind of got on that with The Dark Knight. There's some weird one-liners in the series.
I mean, obviously there's one in the trailer. This isn't a car.
It wasn't a car.
Yeah.
He was just trying to be informative. Yeah. He was trying to teach a woman that it's not a car. I'm just joking.
And then
I'm just joking.
And then sexist. And then
Nope.
what is that? There was one scene where Batman saves Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and he goes, "You missed one," and then you see Batman kicking him,
Yeah.
and then the my most hated line of the movie is the first meeting of Catwoman and Batman. Oh no, after they get out of the car, right?
All right.
And they're talking for a little while, and you see Batman turn around, and he turns back to look at Catwoman, and while he's saying something, and she's gone. She's disappeared, like Batman always does, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "So this is how it feels."
You didn't like that?
No, it was awful.
I actually liked it. I thought it was kind of funny because they play that joke so much. You know, where Batman's like saying
He just
something and
disappears.
then Gordon will turn around and turn back and he's gone.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was kind of a funny thing. I thought it was a little clever. It was corny.
I think my only gripe with it was that, oh, there's nobody around, but I'm still talking like Batman.
Yeah.
Hey, is there
That'd be
anyone
funny if he
listening?
just reverted to his Bruce Wayne voice.
Yeah, he should have just turned back around and be like, so that's how it feels.
Yeah.
And then Catwoman would have popped back out of nowhere. Oh, I saw something. You sound like Bruce Wayne. No, I don't.
But speaking of bad lines, one of the lines that I remember, and I distinctly remember you and your bad Batman impression, was when at the end of the film when they're storming the city hall or whatever, and he beats Bane and he's like, "Where's the detonator?" Or what's it called?
Where's the trigger?
Trigger. It sounded like a bad impression that you would have done of Batman. I was like, really? I mean, I understand that he's in a hurry, and this is somewhat important of a thing that he needs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I laughed out loud at that.
And some of the I think one of those moments in which Batman Christian Bale has to portray or act through his mouth, his body language, and his eyes, right? Like you don't see eyebrows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he has to portray being tired or exhausted or something through his mouth mostly. And his mouth must get pretty dry.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of water on set.
Yeah. But when he gets stabbed by Tali, and that weird face he makes with his mouth, oh man,
You would make a weird face too if you got stabbed like in the rib cage or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
By a woman you just had sex with. Which I thought that was kind of weird too. That whole scene. Not a heart, but I just remember that now.
Yeah, I didn't see any chemistry between them.
Yeah, and I think that's if I had another main gripe. I mean, I've talked a little bit about some stuff needed fleshing out, but I really would have appreciated if like Talia had a couple more scenes. Just to set her character a bit more. Like there were some character bits that weren't needed with like tertiary characters, like that cop that Gordon tries to recruit. He's like a pussy.
Oh yeah.
And then he comes out in the end and gets shot. Okay.
Yep.
Big deal. Or the whole with the special forces dudes that come in and then they just get killed.
Yeah.
That's like 2 or 3 minutes right there that they could have just trimmed and given a scene to
somebody
what ultimately was the ultimate villain in the film.
Yeah. Now it would have been more impactful, if she was more prevalent in the film and nobody was suspected.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I just got small minor gripes, and I don't know. It's probably not worth talking about. But me being a cynical bastard, I have to pick those pieces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what this is for. This is a
a
forum for complaining and bitching and moaning on the smallest details.
So, I mean, I know between you and I, we hold The Dark Knight pretty high.
Yeah. I think.
What about Rises? Is it on the same level?
Oh, time will tell. I think it'll hold up well, to be honest. A little long, but it never feels long. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's a fantastic conclusion. I just do you think, and I guess we can use this as a launching point. If you want to go back to anything, you can tell me. But moving forward with the franchise, Batman franchise, how do you think they're going to continue it if they are? And I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan isn't interested in doing another Batman film, at least
I
for a
don't
while.
know. WB has a lot of money,
Yeah, it's.
especially coming in from The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah,
I haven't looked at official numbers yet because I wanted to wait till Monday.
and I actually think the official numbers have been held until Monday because of the whole
Oh,
shooting incident.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know, we feel for all the families, all the wounded, and all the killed.
yeah,
Uh, you know, it's a tragic time for you guys. But I mean, I hate. I don't want to disregard. I better not say anything. I guess that'd be kind of insensitive.
yeah. This whole, I mean, the whole incident was is kind of hovering over,
Yeah,
this whole weekend, and I think we both kind of decided not to bring it up out of respect. I mean, there's
yeah.
not a whole lot that can be said about it.
Exactly.
Um,
I just like to say that this is a passion of mine. It's a hobby of mine, and I hope that this incident. I know it affected a lot of people, but I don't think. I think this is an isolated incident, and I feel like you shouldn't be discouraged from going to watch a movie.
yeah.
I don't want people to feel discouraged to go watch a movie because it's a great hobby to have.
One of
It's
the great art forms and pastimes of
yeah, especially I mean, out of all of our modern art forms, what do we have now that anybody or everybody can appreciate?
dubstep.
Dubstep. You can't get enough wub wub wub.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like my overall impressions of the movie is very great. I would hang it just as high as The Dark Knight. Bane as a character is just as powerful as the Joker.
Yeah.
Now, performance-wise, Heath Ledger, I think he was fitted for that. I mean, he did that role as the Joker very fantastically. He did an excellent job. Um, Tom Hardy, he did an excellent job as Bane, but I think Joker as a villain was much more dynamic
I
than
mean,
Bane was.
he's definitely more iconic.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's certainly more well known to
Yeah.
people who probably aren't as familiar with the comics.
Mhm. But I mean,
Uh,
I think both of them, as far as screen presence and just filling out their roles in a movie was fantastic. I would put them on the same level.
hmm
I just feel like Joker was a better character to play if you were crazy, sort of. But
It's a showier role.
it's a showier role.
Yeah.
There's more to it. Bane is a very subtle type of character.
Right, which is, I guess, it's kind of ironic. You can just look at him and he seems like this big, hulking bruiser.
Yeah,
He doesn't seem like he would be a subtle character.
yeah. But
But
man, does he put subtlety on a stand where anybody can notice? I mean,
yeah,
it sounds so ironic, but that's exactly how it came off to me. So I mean, I would put it up there. As far as the franchise of the Batman film, or I don't know, do we call this the Nolan trilogy?
yeah, the Batman Nolan trilogy.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the Nolan quadrilogy.
God.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
You know,
happen.
in like 5 years, I can maybe see them returning. I can maybe see, Nolan saying, "Hey, I mean, I was burnt out by the end of the third one, and I obviously want to move on, to different creative fields. But I mean, obviously he, loves these characters and the world he's created. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spent, all
So
that
much
time
time,
making.
yeah. Uh,
Um, I would
uh,
love to see another film.
do you think it's? I mean, I first of all, I know it's possible.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
there's money there. It's
there's money
possible.
there. Like I reiterated earlier, there was 3 theaters that we came to before the one that we went. We finally watched it at, and those were sold out for all the last 3 screenings of the day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If that shows the popularity of it, and they were showing it on multiple screens. It wasn't just one screen. The
Hmm.
first one we went to had 4 screens of it. The second one had 3, and the last 2 had 2.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think that shows the popularity of it. And I enjoyed it enough to, you know, forget about my wife that wasn't there.
Oh
she
yeah,
was,
you have to tell this
she was,
story.
she was missing, she was missing in action for the whole movie,
Uh,
and I was able to overlook that fact to enjoy
yeah.
this movie.
He ended up getting lost and going to the wrong
To the
theater.
wrong theater.
And Shori, the good husband he was,
Oh man.
wasn't overly concerned. Well, maybe he was concerned, but I think he was more concerned about,
Look, I
what
got
was
up.
going on screen.
Let me just say this. I got up twice during the previews and the trailers, but once that movie started, I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Uh,
she's probably just sleeping in the car. She's fine.
yeah, she's
She's
fine.
fine. This is
But
what Batman's up to.
I mean, I guess the weirdest thing that happened to me was like I knew this movie was almost 3 hours long, and I was like, I'm not gonna drink anything when I wake up. I'm just gonna go make sure I go pee beforehand. For some reason, I don't know what my bladder was doing. I had to pee like every 10 minutes. So I went to pee. I peed like 3 times before the movie started. I was like, that's got to be it. And
I'm
then 10
done.
minutes
Yeah.
into the movie, I start feeling it again. And I'm like, nope, ain't gonna happen. You're gonna
Oh my goodness! What'd you drink? Apple juice or
I
something?
don't know. I didn't really have anything. I guess I had a little bit of water, but I made it. It wasn't that bad. The
Yeah.
movie had me enthralled.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I was fortunate enough, even though I had Taco Bell right before the movie.
oh, that's a bad choice.
Yeah, but I made it through the whole movie, and I was fine. I mean, I wasn't disturbed once the bit throughout the whole movie. I enjoyed it immensely. So, any
Yeah.
conclusive words, last words? Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Dark Knight
You're
Rises.
probably already going to. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. And this has been Shane's Movie Corner for Dropkick.
Oh yeah, it is. That's right.
Yeah, Shane's Movie Corner on Dropkick. Check us out online, like and favor, whatever. But check us out next time. Any future movie endeavors you're going to be taking?
Like personally, or just watching movies?
Personally.
I don't know.
Give a plug for your movie you made.
Oh,
Book of the Dead, right?
go watch The Book of the Dead. Maybe we can put a link to it on
I'll put a
the
link
site
to
or
it.
something.
Yeah, I'll put a
It's
link.
it's a schlocky like a stupid zombie movie. It's really
No,
silly,
it's not
made with no
stupid, it's
budget,
awesome.
but there's a lot of heart. He had a lot of fun making it. Just check it out. You can laugh at us.
Yeah, I laughed pretty hard every time Shane popped up on screen, guys.
Thanks. That's what I was going for. But yeah, as far as future ones, I want to make a more serious horror film. I guess that's what's in the works, but still got a lot of planning to do for that. But yeah, that's what it looks like moving forward. How about you?
Nothing, not yet.
I gotta encourage that.
I'm still thinking about it. So any future movies you are going to be watching that we should look out for?
There are other movies coming out besides The
The
Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight. Oh,
Uh,
oh man, there was one coming out in December. I don't know what it is now.
December. I mean, I
Oh,
want to see
Jack
Django
Reacher. Did you see?
Unchained.
Oh yes, Django
That
Unchained.
was a good
Did you see the
trailer.
trailer for Jack Reacher?
Was
Tom
that's the
Cruise.
Tom Cruise one? I didn't see it at the movies, but I saw it online, and I was like, yeah, I don't care about this.
Oh really?
I don't care about this. The whole, playing up this guy, he's the ultimate badass, and then the whole really contrived scene of like him like reluctantly beating up these douchebags who are attacking him one at a
Yeah.
time on the street. I was like, I just don't like Tom Cruise anymore. Don't sell me this. Maybe I'm the wrong audience,
Well, I'm still on
but
board. I can't wait to see it. So I will surely be watching that.
yeah.
Django Unchained. I don't know. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch. We'll recap some more on the next podcast. We're gonna try to make this a regular thing, and I think this was definitely Dark Knight Rises centric because it's probably
Yeah,
the biggest
absolutely.
event film of the year,
Yeah,
at least so far.
we were so hyped for it. With
But
the disappointments and like the Amazing Spider-Man and a few other movies, this movie really kicked me in the balls and
in a good way.
in a good way. I don't know
Okay.
if that is a good way. There is a good way for that, but no,
It's gotta be.
I was genuinely excited for it.
I
So
think, yeah, next time we can definitely look forward and see like maybe the second half of 2012 and talk about what's going to be coming out, what we're interested in.
yep. So guys, everybody, this is Shane's Movie Corner, a part of the Dropkick Entertainment Network, and check out the Book of the Dead. It is on Yo Dog I Heard You's YouTube channel. It's 3 parts, right?
3 parts, and you'll find the links with this video.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you guys watch The Dark Knight Rises because it's a fantastic film. Let's all email Warner Brothers and have them make a 4th.
You're not gonna have to tell them. They've already got it. They already got it greenlit.
Hey, thank you,
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.